Hi. Coming
Hi.
up on this episode of Word Up, we're going to be telling you what the word temerity means and using it in a sentence. We would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for following us so far, all our wee watchers who have been here from the beginning and everybody who is starting to watch and is currently catching up. I've had some lovely messages from people.
Some lovely message, and people. It's just people who just take the time to reach out and put a wee message.
It means
in.
a lot.
It really does.
It really does.
You're not like doing it for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, you feel like
connecting.
there's somebody listening out there.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. We just want to say thank you, and thank you to anybody who is subscribing already to our Patreon. Once you're on there, it's only £1 a month if you fancy that, and you can talk to us, you can ask us questions, you can drop us a line. We're going to be putting some things on there. I'm going to put the mugs up.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be getting some, I'll call it my Mama t-shirts made.
Mama t-shirts.
So keep a wee eye for that. We're also going to be uploading content. We're going to start uploading content to the Patreon like throughout the week as well, because I sometimes have wee videos, sometimes just want to say hiya.
Wee extra bits.
Wee extra bits.
Extra crack, extra gig.
Yeah, just throughout the week. And I think as well, because there's a lot of things during the week, words that I like or discover, and they don't make it to the episode, but I would actually like to talk about them. So we'll just do wee random uploads of like maybe wee minute long clips.
100%. Or send us even even if you wanted to send us like a wee voice note or something like that there of a word that you like.
Absolutely.
A word that you like, why you like it. It doesn't have to be a swear word. It doesn't even have to be a weird word.
Yeah.
Is there a word that you like? A friend of mine, she loves the word flump.
Flump.
She just
Flump
likes
is a good word.
flump.
Yeah.
The word flump.
Flump. Has like
It's got it sounds nice.
Yeah.
It's not a weird word. It's just
lots
a nice
of
word.
consonants. Flump.
Flump. But very
Flump.
like it's very
You get
it
to use
feels like a nice wee comfy.
Yeah, it does. It's like an onomatopoeia word, isn't
nearly,
it?
isn't
Flump.
it? Flump.
Sounds like you chewing a flump. Yes.
flump,
So that's all we wanted to say. Please follow us on our socials.
Temerity.
The temerity.
If you have the temerity to sign up to our Patreon, we'll make sure you don't regret it.
Absolutely. Thank you and enjoy the episode. We're rolling, aren't we?
We are.
Rolling on the
river. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the latest episode of ADHD Social.
Welcome.
Welcome.
All
We-
you viewers
Welcome to
and
Word Up.
listeners
And listeners.
across the land.
Oh, that's very plummy.
Did you like that?
I do.
Listeners from all across the land.
Yes. Treff up a lip.
Stiff upper lip. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Very nice.
Apparently, I heard the
From
guy
all the home
who
counties.
the home counties.
Here.
Apparently the guy who played. The guy. He's in like the Challengers, and like, I can't remember what his name is. He's like he was he's like a youngish actor, but he played he played the young Charles.
Yes.
In The Crown.
I know who you're talking about. And they did him well, because that Charles actually looked like somebody you might fuck one day.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
You know,
like you might.
as opposed to that big-eared buffoon.
Who was what he was
Dear
in real
love him.
life.
Yeah.
But he said that to say yes, like the royal family say yes, like a really posh person saying ears.
Yes.
Yes.
Is.
Yes.
Is.
Yes. I like that.
Yes.
And the I always, whenever I'm doing the hello, it's like hello, so it has an I before the O, so it's hello.
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 Hello. And that L. It's not like L. It's
Hello.
L. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Do you not think that the royal family kind of aged like lettuce, where it looks decent for the first bit, and then if you just leave it out of the fridge, it ages really quickly. It just looks fucked.
Like Prince William, that's the biggest sin.
Like, do you see what I mean? They're all right around 18, 19, 20.
Yes.
And then it's like, bang, bald.
Those Windsor jeans kick
big
in.
ears, and everything gets
And
longer.
It
Yeah,
goes
their
like a-
nose,
like a-
because your appendages grow with you throughout your life. Now, I'm not sure if you're going to have a look at your lunchbox there.
I think that.
But
Yeah,
like
I think they
men's
just droop.
ears and noses apparently continue to get bigger. But
Oh, you ever see like old men, like really old men? They've got like big schnoz, big ears.
yeah,
Who
right
does?
now, like the
Apparent-
BFG,
BFG, but like not nice.
not nice.
Not nice.
And not anti-Semitically coded.
Yes, that's
Oh,
true.
why?
I
I never
Roald
really
Dahl.
thought about it. Like Roald Dahl, yeah.
Yeah.
Roald Dahl was a huge anti-Semite. He was that broke my heart, because my favourite book as a wee boy, my two favourite books as a wee boy were The Witches and Matilda.
I loved Boy and Danny the Champion of the World.
I loved Boy and the Champion
I
of the World.
also
loved
thought
Danny.
that
I
I
wanted to live
was
in a
Matilda
caravan. Oh, did you think you had Parish?
because
Pash.
I read
Did you-
so much.
Where she's Parish? Did you hear
Pash.
about Matilda? She's
She's magic
you,
Parish.
have you heard about our Bronagh? Oh, aye. She's got Parish.
No, of course I do. Superpowers. But I used to think that I was
Good in the
going
golf
to
course.
get Matilda's powers from reading. But yeah, I did. I wanted to live in... Because whenever I read Danny the Champion of the World, he lived in a caravan. He didn't have to go to school.
And he knew his dad was.
And he knew he was...
I didn't have mind.
He had a lot going
I have to
for
say,
him.
like, the teacher who, because it was, you know, the teacher would, like, P5, P3, P4, P5, they would get a book and they would read it. So every day you would have, like, story time. You know, maybe just after lunch.
Yeah.
They would come
And everybody
in.
used to run to get the book they wanted.
So that week or that 2 weeks or however long it took him to read it was Danny the Champion of the World. And I just remember, like, just loving all the
It's
different
so cool.
imagery.
What do you call the sweets from it that he loves?
Oh. Gosh, I don't know.
I can't remember, but
Such a long time.
I
yeah.
remember thinking, oh my god, these sound amazing.
Was it the bullseyes? Do you remember?
Was it
He
brandy
names all the
balls?
old
No,
ones,
no.
like bullseyes.
Hold on.
It was like old fashioned sweets. You could buy a quarter
apple
of them.
tarts and all. He talks about the boiled sweets.
It's-
and boy,
It's like a cinnamony type thing. But I remember thinking, oh, these must be gorgeous.
So
and
lovely.
I like begged my man to try and find these sweets, and we went to one of them with like old fashioned, like
yeah, they were all
sweet
stuck
shops,
together.
and they were fucking.
Banging.
They were alright. They
They
were
were
just
alright.
alright.
You
I'm
wanted
sure
to
you know
say.
yourself.
No,
Sure you know
is there any wee vintage sweets that you love?
Do you know
I
Strawberry
love
sherbets.
rhubarb and custard, strawberry and sherbet. I love a strawberry sherbet and a lemon sherbet, but
Love
I
a lemon
always get
sherbet.
that big cut in the top of my mouth after
Uh-huh.
sucking them. You know, when you suck them and then you give yourself like a blister and then it pops and then you
Oh
can't eat
my.
anything salty.
See, I can't help but I love
am
the
a
feeling of
biter.
that.
I'm a biter.
Only
that-
for some things, man.
My
lads.
ma loves a humbug.
Bah humbug.
And I always
God,
ask her before I go, is there toffee inside these? And she goes, yeah, but sure you're going to bite into it anyway. I bite, but it's not worth it.
Like
if
a
there's
Murray
nothing
mint?
chewy inside.
I like a Murray mint as
Yeah.
well because it has like the wee chewy bit in the middle.
Mhm. Yeah, the toffee.
But like lemon bonbons.
Do you want to know what happened to me? Sorry, now that we're talking.
What?
I used to love cracking, you know, the popping candy as a kid. And my ma used to say, no, what makes me think all my fillings are coming out. And
Oh, Monica.
I used to think, like, it must be terrible getting old. Well, I took the last packet of Ma Wham pinballs out of the bag the other day on the kids and thought I was getting one over. And I walked in. Curtis was sitting in the living room and I walked over to him and I opened it up and went, I just made a point of saying this.
oh,
I went,
look.
here, I love these. They're brilliant. And he looked at me and was like, you're a big child. And I put it in my mouth and see the second I chewed, I went, and he went, is that your tooth? Have you lost a bit of tooth? And I was like, spat out half my fucking
Oh,
white filling.
stop it.
And I was just thinking to myself, like, I am that decrepit that I can't even eat children's
I
sweets.
can't eat
Parts of me
children.
falls off.
We give popping candy. Whenever I was away, I remember we give popping candy to the dog.
That's okay.
And the dog was all like us here.
Dog
Those wee face-
thought it was
But
Dan.
Also, but Sean was saying about, like, you know, like a sweet that he heard of in the book.
Mhm.
Was it? But it wasn't brandy. Whatever. Are you trying to find out what the sweets were? that he started? But do you remember in The Land, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, whenever Edmund meets the White Witch, she gives him Turkish Delight,
Yeah, and you always think it's going to be good, and then you try it
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
minging.
and then you go, oh.
Oh, well, I did like Turkish Delight though.
I like it.
didn't.
I like it now as an adult. but
My
I didn't
Aunt
like it
Sadie,
as a
so did
child.
I. So did I. My Aunt Sadie used to get a fries. It had to be fries.
I love the name
Fries,
Sadie.
Turkish Delight, and she always had them in her wee fridge.
Aye,
And
my
it was
granny
pro-
loved
I
them.
used to think she only got them because she knew none of the kids would eat them. 'Cause they were
But
rotten.
it was because there's Turkish Delight because it had like the chocolate on it. Remember
Mm.
fries,
Aye.
Turkish Delight, and there was
But
a guy
then
with a
when you actually
scimitar and he
go
cut
to
it open on the advert.
When you go to Turkey, Turkish Delight is just the
because it's
wee
Persian.
jelly.
the
My
rose
uncle
one
would
with
get
the
it.
dust on it.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
Brilliant.
My uncle
I
would
like
get
the
like you know the
pistachio
one,
flavoured
the
one.
proper one,
Mm.
yeah, and baklava, like for
Oh,
you know, have you ever had it like made by
Is
Persians?
that not what the
It's
raw
so
wears on
good.
their head whenever they're making videos?
baklava.
Whenever they're
Baklavas.
crashing cars in the welcome centre.
But
But what happened? Did they like that's winding back to the welcome centre? Did they drive it and then they jump out, or did they put a brick on the accelerator?
no, I think they'll crash into a person and let it on fire.
All right, yeah, you've thought about this.
Yeah.
You've been like, how would one do this?
I would
Yeah.
want the car to be. I just think it's more cinematic if the car's on fire first,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah, for
do
visual
like an
effect.
evil Knievel with it.
and then you jump. Aye,
Aye.
jump out of the sunroof.
And
or
if they're going to
something.
do it, they should at least have the decency to fucking film it so that we can all have a bit of
Put it-
entertainment.
Put it on TikTok.
Aye, put it on
Rather
God
evil-
forgive us, the poor welcome centre. But the welcome
Do you reckon the Rag
Can
and having
Keeving-
OnlyFans would have to pay for their content? What did you say there?
what, like
Evil Keeving rather than evil Keevil.
evil Keith.
Evil Keeving. Will we do the word?
So we're going to do the word of the week.
We shall do the word of the week.
Word of the week.
You want to say what's the word of the week?
Us week's word of the week is
Go. Say it with that accent.
temerity.
Temerity. It fucking is.
Temerity.
Temerity.
You have the temerity to come in here and talk to me like us.
Yeah.
One of you did it.
That's actually it. Well, what it was fucking one he is.
This fucking one is. Which one of you had the temerity to do a big shit and no flush it?
I saw a video the other day where someone. Have you heard of the term redcon?
No.
No.
So, like, it's like a term used in films where, like, you know, like, say a film does a sequel
Mm-hmm.
and they explain something that's like, you know, that's like a bit of a plot hole in the first film
Yes.
by
They
filling
did that
something
in one of the most recent Star Wars where they explained why the Death Star had a weak spot.
Was so badly
Yes.
made. Rogue
Yeah,
One.
like
It
so the
was
you a
deliberate,
whole
they
that whole
said.
film is just a whole redcon.
Right.
Oh, a recon.
A red con. I think it's
Redcon.
a reference to a certain like sci-fi film, like.
The original.
But so it's like when you write something in
to
to, like,
explain a
to
fuck up.
explain a mistake,
Yeah.
or like to
Okay.
explain something that's not explained.
Uh-huh.
to the
Uh-huh.
audience.
So it's been like, as you know, Bob, the last time we were here, the Martians were killed because we exposed them to the common cold. This
Yeah.
time, it's probably going to be harder
Yeah.
to kill
yeah.
them. Yeah.
So
Yeah. It turns out that they
somebody-
respawned.
Did they?
somebody redconned the fucking. None of us know how to
Retcon,
flush a,
yes.
a
Oh!
toilet after you've done a shit.
Did they?
Yeah.
So what it is, and it doesn't. You don't realize that's what it is until the very end. It's like somebody. The caption is just like, when burgling a house like goes wrong, and it says fella known like he's in a house like
all
stealing
the
stuff, and then he goes, oh fuck, and he needs to go to the toilet, and he runs in and takes a dump. And then
Yeah.
he hears the people from the house coming in, and he goes, "Oh fuck!" And then he goes and hides in the cupboard.
Ah! Behind the scenes! I love that somebody built that all around that.
So then the man comes in, and you hear like he's obviously recorded, like somebody going, "Ugh,"
Did that?
and then goes in to like the kids,
Oh
and like
my
shouts at them.
God. We need to see
Could they
this.
say that? But put a clip. I just do you like. I want to make me laugh.
We need to put
Do
that
She's
on.
like playing with her ponytail. All right, guys.
It's
today
her-
we're
it's
going
Cher
to-
Lloyd.
I'm going to
by
do
Cher
Cher
Lloyd.
Lloyd by Cher Lloyd.
We're going to Cher Lloyd by Cher Lloyd.
We're
We're going to Cher Lloyd by Cher
She
Lloyd.
totally took a Cher Lloyd before she did that.
She took a Cher Lloyd.
Yeah.
The Cher-
She's got a hemorrhoid from her Cher Lloyd.
I'd give her. I could be Cockney Raymond slang for hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got the Cher Lloyds. She can't sit down for her Cher Lloyds.
God love her, she needs money and we donuts for her Cher Lloyd.
After run day shop and get some cream from a Cher
Cher
Lloyd.
Lloyd.
Cher- oh.
Separation H from the Cher
Anasol,
Lloyd.
Anasol from a Cher Lloyds. Just
Anasol.
hanging out of my ass like a bunch of grapes.
Get my swagger back.
Oh my God. I can't.
Or skibbities.
Or skippities.
Just,
Oh,
oh,
God.
she caught her skibbities. She caught her skibbities in the clip of her bodysuit.
Cher Lloyd was a wee like time capsule, wasn't she? Like it's very of its time.
She's
Yeah.
a very much like that. What 2009, 2008,
Yeah.
2009?
But you know that actually will outlast Cher Lloyd because my kids referenced that. Yeah, somebody, well, it was fucking one of
Well, I would say
They
there's
don't
people.
do the cursing, but
I would say there's people who know what that meme is or that like video, but they don't know who Cher Lloyd is.
yeah, that's true actually.
Sorry,
I
Cher.
would say so.
Sorry, Cher Lloyd.
Yeah, what? Why?
Where is she nowadays?
Where is she?
Maybe we could get her on here. We'll reach out.
Aye, she might.
Yeah.
She might be
Cher
out
Lloyd-
desperate. She'll do the Word
Natalia,
Up Bro
look.
like, podcast.
Come and do the word. Word up is I don't know.
We won't pay you, but you'll get exposure.
To a lack of ones in Belfast.
Your core demographic.
Your court, absolutely.
Here you might sell a few tickets to your next Sunflower gig, Cher
Yeah,
Lloyd.
your next
Cher Lloyd.
limelight.
If If
I
the
don't think
Cockney
Charlotte
Rhymes-
would be doing the limelight.
She
If the-
wouldn't. The limelight's too big for Charlotte.
God love her.
If
We're
the-
not getting her on now.
Not getting her on now. Like, what those bastards are saying? I couldn't even fill the limelight. Well, I'll show them. I will fill the limelight
With farts.
with fart.
With Michelle Lloyd.
Oh, Sher Lloyd.
She needs an extra ticket for them, Charlotte.
Oh my god.
And
Just-
she could fill Voodoo, like,
Voodoo. Yeah.
but I don't think Voodoo's crowd would be up for it.
Nah.
For
It's
that-
not metal enough.
I can't even
Here,
remember
the
her song.
Cannibalised Seagulls were playing Voodoo last Sunday.
Were they?
Mm-hmm.
How'd they get on?
Really well. Apparently they were brilliant.
Oh, happy days.
But I mean,
We are big Cannibalised Seagulls fans in here.
Big Cannibalised Seagulls.
Oh, on that note, before we talk about Temerity, Sean.
Yes, I've released a new song today.
Mhm.
Today being Friday.
Today being Friday the 30th of August.
Friday the 30th of August.
Yeah,
and
we have a
pray
new
tell us what the song is.
Search Bar have released a new song called Cave.
Cave?
Yeah.
Like Mumford and Sons Cave, only better?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've dropped the. So it's Mumford and Sons have the cave.
And yous are just
we're too good
Cave.
for it.
User like
No
whenever
direct.
their Facebook became Facebook.
No definite
Yeah.
article, just
Mhm.
cave.
So
Cave.
get on it if you fancy some good music.
Mm.
Search Party Cave. We have the temerity to tell
Plug
you
that.
this because we know it's fucking fabulous.
We have the Temerity.
So temerity. Do you know what temerity means?
Is temerity kind of like a wee bit like fearlessness, like boldness? Like you have the temerity, you have the temerity. Like you have the
Absolutely.
Mhm.
gall,
It is like excessive confidence.
the brass neck.
The brass neck.
You have the
Yes.
brass. You have some neck.
Temerity. You have the
Temerity.
temerity. The brass neck. Yes, so boldness, audacity.
Or as some people in Lurgan would say, audacity.
Audacity.
You have the audacity to come in
Mhm.
here.
Do you
and
ever
talk
see
to me.
people though when they're just like they have this thing about them?
I am jealous of people who are like, what would you say?
like
Like
the
temeritus? Temeritus?
temeritus.
What would be the adjective for somebody who has temerity? Temeritus?
Temeritusness.
Do you know like temerousness? No, temerity. It has the people who have the temerity. I am jealous of temerity because like, I
get it.
second guess myself a lot.
So it says
Brightly.
temerity, temerarious, temerarious.
Oh, here we were
Te-
able
No,
There's that wave.
That-
temerarious.
temerary.
Temerarious.
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 Do you know what? That is a hate crime towards people of the north of Ireland because we
Temerarious. It
cannot
is.
pronounce that.
That's like
Temerarious.
whenever
Too many
I
hours.
constantly have this discussion
Temer-
with a friend
temer-
about how we can't say the name
Temerarious.
Howard
No,
because it's hard.
Hard.
or we can't
So
say
we find saying that very hard.
or hard's hard.
Hard.
Hard. Oh, is I?
It's like
Hard is hard.
hard is hard to say.
How hard is hard to say?
Aye.
How hard is hard to say.
We had
Hard.
said one of those words earlier in the show. I can't remember what it was.
How hard? Yes,
Um,
temerity. But I often find, and I am saying this with big love, man.
Your card hard.
that guys
You're a
tend to
card.
have
Oh,
temerity.
hard. You're a card.
Quite a lot of temerity.
There's unearned white straight male temerity.
Like whenever I've probably talked about this before, but I went in all girls Catholic
Yes.
primary school and secondary school. And then I went to university, and whenever I was sitting in a lecture, I had done the reading, and there was a guy who kept giving his opinion. And I was like, God, he's awfully forward. And then I thought, how come he has the balls to say all this whenever he clearly hasn't done the reading? And I was just sitting there absolutely baffled, like, what? There's something different about this. What is it? And it made me realise that I was, for the first time in my life, in an educational setting with men, with boys.
Yes.
And
You were encountering that.
Yeah.
My,
they had
my
this-
people listen to me because I'm a man.
The temerarity of this lad.
Yeah,
who hadn't
the
done
absolute, the
reading.
absolute nerve, temerity, gall, and gumption.
The hubris was hanging clean out of him.
Hubris was hanging past his Sherloids.
I love. I came to temerity because I like the word hubris.
I like the word hubris.
You know,
So it's like it's the idea
it's like ego.
so hubris was a goddess,
Mm.
and hubris punished those mortals who thought themselves above the gods.
Highly of
So
themselves.
hubris would then come down, and she would be. So hubris is also, I think, Nemesis. Would Nemesis not also be like a goddess?
Right enough.
Because she would, Nemesis, the goddess Nemesis. Reason we're talking about that, well, reason this is because Sean and I were having a conversation about Greek mythology because there is like a new program on Netflix, which I
as you do,
as one does,
as one
chaos,
does,
as one does. We're talking about
have
Greek
chats
mythology.
about Greek mythology and the poetics, you know, Aristotle.
Aristotle, the Iliad,
And
the
such.
Odyssey,
Iliad, yes.
and such.
Metamorphosis by Ovid.
Yes.
Actually, I didn't read
Just
any
some
of those.
light reading before bed.
I just read loads of just encyclopedias and shit whenever I was young because I just got obsessed with
So
Greek
did I.
mythology. Love Greek
How the
mythology.
fuck were you never diagnosed?
I don't know because
I
it
used
was
to
a
read
huge. But
encyclopedias
also
before bed.
because I was just like 10 years. I think I'm just 10 years too old for people to know like
And
what
I
was
was like
going
one
on.
of the first ones that was ever called Adage.
Adage. But yes, Chaos with Jeff Goldblum as Zeus. It's really good. I have to say, I'm really enjoying it. It's got like a Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet vibe.
Okay, I'm going to watch that. But see, on that note,
Yes.
have you watched what's it called? Fuck's sake, Gods of
American Gods.
American Gods.
We'll watch the first. I think we watched the first half of the first series.
There's a bit of dorkdom.
Oh, there is. There's a djinn with a big massive willy.
Yeah, big massive dick.
There's a girl who's a goddess of like she's an ancient sort of like Middle Eastern goddess, and she
just fucks everyone to
absorbs
death.
people up into her fascine.
Mm-hmm.
I like
What a way to go.
What a way to go! Like, do you know what I mean? It's like there's worse ways to go.
Yeah, it's the opposite of birth.
And
Just fucking them back in again.
I liked the set pieces, but I didn't like the storyline.
Yeah, the storyline got a bit convoluted.
There
was no need for it.
Because there was the girlfriend who was dead but was
And then there
alive
was the
because of the magic
leprechaun.
coin.
Yes, and then it get into him. And I love all that sort of lore.
I do.
So in the second series, they brought Odin. And by the time I started watching the second series, I had no fucking clue.
But Odin was in the first one because he was
Yes.
Mr. Wednesday.
That's right. And I like that actor.
Ian McShane.
Yeah.
Lovejoy.
Mm-hmm. And Odin is Wednesday, isn't it?
Did you know
It's Odin's Day, Wednesday?
Wotan's Day, yeah. Because and the guy who played, Shadow, the main character, who from Hollyoaks, he
Yes.
went to Antrim Grammar for a year.
Did he indeed?
Mhm.
Oh, yes. Do you know, that was actually one of those ones. There's been a few times, actually, we have been watching TV and Curtis just went, that's like, who was the name? He said that's, it sounded like a made-up name to me because I'm fucking Irish. And I went,
To be
dead
fair, though,
on.
yeah.
And he went, it is. I went to school with him. And he waited until the credits came up and he went, there you
Look.
go. It is.
Look.
And it was.
Curtis was not interested in
in
the
it.
programme whatsoever. He just wanted to wait until the credits came up to prove that he was
To
right.
prove that he was right.
He was like,
Which I
I'm not
don't do.
interested.
I sit
On
through everything
IMDb.
with IMDb.
Me too. I need to stop that. Alan and I have started to we've decided to make a pact where like at a certain time of the evening we're putting our phones away
Can I
to
just
be
say
able
something to watch TV?
to actually watch
But can
TV.
I tell you, do you not think that is the fucked up sign of the times we live in? When you feel good about yourself for putting your phone down
away.
and just focusing on the TV.
I was again.
It's wrong on so many levels.
But whenever I was young, though, I would have been reading a book as well.
I think as well, though, that I need... People find it insulting, but like, for example, I play Tetris. And my high score is just under 10 million. But I need to be doing sometimes two things at once to focus. Does that make sense?
I don't know what it feels like. I was talking to my therapist yesterday.
Oh, you were talking
I was
to your
talking.
therapist. Very good.
Oh, can we talk? And I was saying to her what you're saying, just basically what you're saying right now.
Sometimes it's three things.
I don't know what it's like just to think about one thing at a time. I don't know what that feels like. I've never known what that feels like.
That's why ADHD is not correctly named. It isn't attention deficit disorder. It's a selective. It's that we usually, if you think of your brain like a stage, one act comes on and then leaves, and then a new act comes on. But with our brains, we have all the acts just keep coming on, and we're just focusing.
And I'm
all
watching
the time.
it, so like, but it is, and then that's where I sometimes personally, I don't know if it happens to you, but I then personally lead into derealization and depersonalization.
Oh my God,
whereas I step away, it's almost like my brain shuts down. There's too many tabs open.
Oh
So
my God!
I
yeah.
shut
and then you get
down,
the blue screen of death,
and then I get where everything doesn't look real.
or you just stand there for ages. Did you ever get the paralysis? Where
I
you're
get
like,
you know, right, so, right, what am I going to do next? What's going to, I feel like I'm watching, like the world is a movie that I'm watching, that I'm not in it.
Yeah, you
And
disassociate.
I've been disassociating. Do you know what I mean?
I do this thing as well, and I have to excuse for anybody who's ever spoken to me in real life, IRL. Kurt really, it's something that's a bugbear in our relationship, and I am trying to explain that this isn't, I don't do this in badness.
No.
It's just how I am, and as much as I've tried to change it, I can't.
Right.
This is me.
This is me.
This is me. Like, I will either, my brain is trying to process what you're saying so quickly that I've finished your sentence for you before you have in my head.
Yes.
I started responding.
Yes.
And then he's like, no, listen, that's not what I'm going to say.
That actually wasn't how I was going to go.
Or else I do this thing where I'll hear it, process it, not hear you properly. And then people think it's rude whenever you say, sorry, what was that? And then they're in the middle of repeating it, and then you've got it, you've processed it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Really
it's
like
the processing of all the different stimulus that's coming into your brain at different rates.
Yes.
And
and people get like insulted sometimes, you know, like, and I'm going, sorry, I really am listening to you. I've just picked up what you've said.
But like I don't know if it's because like I grew up in a household where people were always like real conversation, real dialogue. It's not like TV where I finished talking and then now it's your turn.
You talk
and then
through
it's my
each
turn.
other.
Yes, it's overlapping, and so like, do you know when if someone in real life, if I stopped talking and there was a slight pause before you said something, you would think there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So like real life. So maybe I grew up in a so I think I do that, but I think most of the people I talk to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's our sort of way. Like, was I telling you about the house party that I went to with all my cousins? And, oh my God, right. So, a couple of weeks ago, it was our wee Rory's birthday / leaving do. And I went up after I had Paddy Raff's gig, and I went up to the Glenone, had a laugh with all my family, decided we were all going back to my cousin's house after.
Wait, is he going to uni or something? Or
he's going away to work in Canada.
Oh,
so,
Canada.
So we were all up in our showers and all sitting around, and all us cousins, this is the way we'll carry out a conversation. So I would be sitting there and I'd be like, yeah, 1995, Red. Yeah. Did you like it too? It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Aye.
Next week. So we're carrying on like 5 conversations
Oh,
simultaneously.
why?
And we just think that's normal.
I'm watching TV.
And my other cousin's husband was there. And he went, and he was talking, he was like, what's this got to do with the football? And we were like, fuck off, football was about...
We've moved on.
Nobody's talking about that. And he just couldn't compute.
But that's also because you have your shorthand with your cousins.
With your cousins. And then he actually went, God love him, here he was, you're really close for cousins. Like, I barely know my cousins. And I was like, really? Because my cousins are kind of like siblings. We all were reared
together.
You know, so we do have that. And then Curtis, whenever I was like describing this to Curtis, he went, it is overwhelming when you're with all your ones.
If you just come in.
Because you guys all just, you get each
speak
other.
a different language. I'd be a wee bit like that with my brothers.
Yeah.
Because like my friends were over from university during Pride, and we ran into my middle brother, and they were just like, use the ping between yous two. Yous just, do you know, they're used to me.
Do you ever have a nickname for someone and you just think it's completely normal, but other people, right? My sister Michelle,
right?
We call her Shelly Boots.
Can you handle this, Michelle?
Can you handle this?
Can she handle Shelly Boots?
Can handle it. Well, she's been getting Shelly Boots from she was no age from us,
right?
And it's all now we shorten it to Boots or Bootsy,
right?
So I was texting my cousin and I was like, yeah, so I'll ask Boots if she wants to go. And this cousin was going, who the fuck is Boots?
Who the fuck is Boots? Because it sounds like a drug dealer.
And I was like, Shelly
do you know
Boots?
What I mean? Send Boots a wee fucking message to see if he can get us a wee bag.
Michelle used to have a wee pair of welly boots whenever she was a kid that she loved, and she slept in them because she loved them that much. Wee pair of red boots. And she just got Shelly Boots. And then whenever we thought, we went, there was absolutely no way that anybody would be able to make that connection from Boots to Michelle.
No, if you don't know.
Unless you knew the story.
Unless you know the story. Or like even just like, like I'll say to my youngest brother, legs. I'm like, what does that mean? But it's because whenever he was at university, he shared a flat with a guy who thought that the Little Mermaid song was like, what are they called? oh yeah, legs.
Yeah.
And he thought that it was like, what are they called? Legs. So like, but like it's not funny to anybody else. It's not funny to anybody else. But I'll just say to our Andrew, legs, or I'll say to our Andrew,
I want to be where the people are.
I want to be where the people are. And I would say that, or I would say to Andrew, look, he's eating his dinner. Like that. Because one time me and our Andrew went to London and we were in this, we'd been, I don't know, we were up early, we were travelling, we were just hysterically hyperactive to the two of us. We're
giddy
killing it.
tiredness.
So, like, everything was funny. And there was a picture of it's not funny to nobody but me, but it's cracking me up. But there was a poster with a monkey in a wee waistcoat eating something, and our Andrew went, ugh, look, it's a wee monkey. At least dinner. And it killed me.
Does your Andrew actually talk like that?
No.
Was he the one that had the list?
He did have a list. But our Andrew put that.
At least dinner.
And this is not funny to nobody.
No,
but
I
if I said to our Andrew, look, he's eating his dinner.
I get to that stage. If you ever happen to catch me,
I've got myself to that
at
stage
about
already.
2:00 in the morning. Even today, I was like that
A wee
on
bit giddy.
one of our podcasts before, where I was so tired and hyped up on caffeine that we get really giddy.
Well, I must have
And you
been a day
can't
that I
stop
was as
laughing.
well. Because even, God, see that day, around, we were in London and we got off at, it was somewhere near Waterloo, and it was like a wee pub underneath, like, you know, there's one of these places where there's like, look, at least eating his dinner. Look, there's a wee monkey in a wee outfit. At least eating his dinner. But it made me laugh so much. It made me laugh that the barman actually was like looking over at us to say if we were okay. He was like, I guess here.
There is a point where people are laughing with that maniacal laughter that almost looks like crying.
It was
They're like, are they crying?
Oh my God. Like, do you know what I mean? I haven't thought about that in so long, and I didn't realise how much of a hysterical trigger that was for me. You literally did it. I can't do it. I have to stop, and I have to stop thinking about it, or I'm not going to get, and you're not going to get nothing out of me for the rest of the day.
Oh
no. Oh my goodness. Ah, I can't stop. Oh.
Curtis was telling me about this guy's
quick,
house that he's working in, and he said, it's the way he laughs, Bronagh. And I went, what way does he laugh? I'd love to ring him up right now and get him to do the laugh.
Do the laugh.
He goes like, it's because Curtis...
like a wee creaky door.
It's because Curtis isn't normally the person. He goes, this is the way he laughs. His way he laughs. He goes... and I went, what? And he went, he just sort of says something like, I ever see it's like Peter Griffin. He's like,
ow. Ow, Peter.
Oh, Peter, aren't you listening?
Oh,
Chris
Peter, you're not listening.
Yeah,
our Andrew was laughing at me, and I was laughing at him, and then he was laughing, and then I was laughing, and then we were both laughing at the barman looking over at us, and then it was like, we were on the same trip to London. We had been out that night, and we went to GAY late, and we were like dancing, and it was like, so we got the night bus back to the hotel.
Sorry, Harry Potter just always comes into my
Into the
head.
night, we put our wands out.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
So we got onto the bus,
Take it away,
and there was like a wee, like, God love her. There was like a wee homeless person.
oh, you
sitting.
know, whenever you said God love her,
It's going to be a horrible thing. I'm
what you want to
say
say is God forgive me.
God forgive me, but she was stinking.
Was
she
she
was absolutely
Humming.
Mm.
Put a wee pin in that. She was absolutely, which is when we go on to the next word. She was absolutely.
It's a swear down.
Swear down. She was humming. That was not an intended segue, BTW.
It was beautiful.
But it was a beautiful. But like, so she was humming, and I automatically always think it's me.
Right.
Like, I turned around to Andrew, and I was like, Andrew, is that me? Because we were like, I sweat whenever I go out dancing. I sweat, and I was
But
like,
fresh sweat doesn't smell humming.
it doesn't smell humming, but I was just pure because I could smell it, and I was just being a wee bit like
If
paranoid.
somebody calls you humming, you know to be cut to bits.
You are fucking humming your own
You
tune.
don't need to swear. If somebody doesn't even say you're fucking humming, see if somebody just goes, you're humming.
You are. That is.
Like
humming.
that is the
Humdinging.
only
Humdinging.
word you need. Humdinging.
That is
Humdingaling.
Humdingaling. That is hum.
Ming dingaling. Ming dynasty.
Ming dynasty stinking.
Absolutely.
We were sitting, and then
Ho Chi Minh.
Ho Chi
Ho Chi
Minh.
Minh.
Ho Chi Minh City. She was Ho Chi Minh City. She was
Crawling.
Latin.
Crawl.
She was Latin. And
More life on her than there was in her.
Oh, flip. It was what I called, it was a whole colony. There was a cure for cancer, AIDS, and God know what else was all like in her.
Careful you don't fall down them steps, your
cultured.
socks might
She
crack.
was
She was cultured in the sense that she had fucking culture growing on her.
Yeah. Oh,
She was a human petri dish, and she was just walking along, and I was just like, oh, so I said, God love her, because like homeless people,
Fucking science experiment.
Sussex gone, maybe right. I don't know what they were going for,
Yeah.
but she got on the bus.
take her
and
shoes off and they just wander off on their own.
Like, they had to pay twice. Beep. Do you know what I mean? Because she had to pay for the shoes coming behind her. But she was like, and then because like homeless people sometimes do this in
They sleep
London,
on the
they
bus
sleep on the bus because it's
because it goes
safe
all
and it's warm. And then this fella got on the bus, and we were sitting on the seats that looked down the bus. So the driver was behind us, and we were looking down the bus. This fella got on, and he sat in the seat opposite us, and he made this face where he realised, he went, oh, like it's here, and then he looked at
You
us.
could see the smell hitting him.
Oh, he went, oh, like it's here, and he saw us, and we went, I guess, and then we mouthed, I know, isn't that awful? Like at there to this Londoner, and we were like, oh, and then we started laughing, and then at the next stop, this
You're
girl
waiting
came.
for other people getting on.
This other girl came and sat beside him, and she went, oh, and she covered her nose. And then we all looked. So, like, basically 4 strangers are in the middle of
Yeah.
London. Like, fucking.
We had a word for this. Remember, noisome?
Yeah,
And it's
it
like
was remember I
noxious.
told the story of the wee man that was on the train out the door.
That's
Oh,
right.
why?
That's
Get me
right.
off this train, the fuck.
Get me
Yeah.
off this train, the fuck.
That's right.
Well, if I had a new London batter, I'd have been saying, get me off this bus, the fuck. Because it was, and I did, do you know when you feel bad? But it was like a mixture of
But then
like,
it becomes entertainment because you're waiting. You're
It
like,
is.
how far back does her smell permeate? That who's the earliest one that it's going to hit?
because this whole half of our bus, we were all, and she was asleep. She was blissfully
was loving
unaware.
life,
She was
yeah.
blissfully unaware.
How much money would you have to pay you,
Right,
right,
right. Oh.
to get to her crotch and go like that, like at her
Or
nipples,
Oh, I don't know.
the liquor
Oh.
armpit.
the liquor
Oh,
on
oh, that's gave me the pure bug.
it. I can't.
Oh,
Ice gave me a book.
that gives me.
As you-
Oh, it
gives
gives
me
me
the bug?
Oh, it gives me the bug. Oh yes, no.
Do you ever see?
Oh yes, that's housing.
That comes from like the Napoleonic Wars. It was like Nelson. I think it was actually Napoleon that brought it in. don't-
Napoleon.
I don't want to give the little. He wasn't actually French. He was
Corsican?
from Corsica, wasn't he?
Was it?
That was where he was
Because
Corsican.
he was exiled
Exile
to
to
Corsica.
Corsica,
Yeah.
St. Helens.
So he had like a strange accent, among his peers. But he, it was during those wars where they started introducing like basic hygiene because they realized that people were getting sick on ships. Like,
Mhm.
for example, don't shit where you eat.
Don't shit where you eat.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They started relating.
Keep your wounds clean.
Yeah, like wash your hands. You might, and before you touch an open wound, they might not die of sepsis.
Because that whole like
The very fact
bad
that
smells are a warning that something's wrong.
yeah. Do you know why we go nose blind?
Why?
Because
You go nose blind.
you go nose blind.
Febreze.
What happens is, and it happens with perfumes as well, and like I am a lover of like using wax melts. So whenever you
Mhm.
go into my house, I like you to be hit with a lovely smell, and I change them out, because you go nose blind because your nose is obviously it's not our primary sense
No.
that we use. Like dogs, their primary sense is their nose, so they'll smell
Olfactory.
something before they see it. Their olfactory senses. But what we do as humans is our brain picks up on smells to determine whether or not there's a danger or our
Oh.
surroundings. So what happens is once our brain has determined that that smell is a regular non-threatening thing, it puts it to the back.
It
It
just
doesn't process
sort of
it
discards
anymore.
it.
It discards it, and that's why you're nose blind. You will no longer pick up on that scent because your brain has already analysed it and said that's okay.
And I
You're
suppose-
no longer near a predator. You're just a smelly cunt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and your brain's given up hope. It's like she's not going to wash herself.
But
I
it'll
wish
not
it
kill
didn't
you.
work like
She's,
that.
she's stinking, but she'll not kill you.
She'll not kill you. Nose blind people, like Kurt says, he really wishes it wasn't a thing because whenever he goes into the most humming houses,
Oh, wow.
they're always sitting there.
People
You know what he
filth.
said?
Proper filth.
But I couldn't do his job because I have a really weak, like I will retch I don't, and it might embarrass you, and it'll embarrass me, and I'll feel bad, but I will
can't have it.
full on vomit in front of you if you
Shite.
are stinky. Like if you smell, I'll go. Ugh.
Yeah. Do you know it's that smell of like, but you proper smelliness where it's like, it's not like,
Fresh sweat, like
it's
he's
not,
just came from work.
No, it's not that. It's like, someone, and it's dirt, it's stale sweat, maybe a bit of pish.
And shite.
Aye. Maybe a wee bit of...
Are we painting a lovely picture for you listeners?
Listeners, you listening? What's the most humdinging thing?
Humming.
What's the most humming?
And I love it because that almost comes from you're humming. There's that much life on you that you're like humming.
See, as we were saying, like, I imagine like there's flies. No.
Yeah, stick at the dump.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Stinking. Because...
Abraham Lincoln.
I think in French you say, ça pue.
Ça pue.
Poo, that means that stinks.
That stinks.
Ça pue.
Ça pue.
And in Spanish you would say...
I love it. You would know what they were saying, but if you didn't speak French.
Because you look at their face, ça pue, and you would say, apesta. Ay, apesta. And it's stinking.
It's pishy in here.
It's apesta.
Be pishy.
A word I love in Spanish, in French, that means disgusting. So you've got dégoûtant, which is disgusting, but you could say dégueulasse.
Dégueulasse.
Dégueulasse means like...
Sounds like someone from Lord of the Rings.
Dégueulasse.
Legolas.
Legolas's bro, he was stinking.
Stinking. Dégueulasse.
Legolas fucking steady as her.
Or the fucking...
You can't even see your
Legolas's
point
brother
here.
who's a boxer.
There's a boxer, Legolas.
Dégueulasse.
Got a few Legolasses on the face.
Aye.
Aye, Legolas.
Or he's an abusive fucking man.
It's Legolas. Legolas.
Yeah, a shake bag. An abuser.
He's a fucking abuser.
He's a Legolas.
He's a dirty.
I love the Scouse accent.
Dirty, smelly bastard.
You know, sometimes, like I was listening, there was this girl, she was talking to a Scouse, but you know, they almost like... so Scouse.
So Scouse, I like. And I was
Blood
thinking
clot.
to myself, it's not worth it, Teddy, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like there's
a
phlegm in the back.
proper, like, they speak French really well.
I would say...
Do you know the way they say Scottish people are a pleasure to teach Spanish to? Because they're natural R rollers. You know? Do you reckon Scouse people would be easy to teach French to?
Teach French.
J'avoue, salut, Mary.
Je m'appelle Teddy.
Yeah.
Et je beat to Liverpool. Je viens to Liverpool. Un Grandsville en Angleterre.
Do you know that a guy that I know went up to do his French oral exam and he genuinely believed that Poglas was called Pogladesh in France.
Pogladesh.
So he went Shabita Pogladesh.
Oh, he was trying to... But then did your
that's just what we
teachers
call
do
it.
that thing in French class where they gave you a French name? So like
No.
I was just David, but then there was like a guy in my class whose name was Jonathan and the teacher called him Jean-Pierre. And I was like, well, no, that's not his...
Okay.
That's not his name.
That's a bit rude.
That's weird.
That's like if we call a Polish person Peter when his real name's Piotrek.
Piotrek.
And they're like, just say his fucking name.
Just say his name.
Just say his name.
I do.
Well,
I
that's
find it
me.
weird.
I say just say his name.
I remember I worked with a girl and she was from Hong Kong and her name was Kit.
Hong Kong Kit.
Hong Kong Kit. Hong Kong Kit.
Hong Kong Foey.
Hong Kong. She was called Kit, but the name that she chose for herself, her like English Anglo name was Joan. And I was like,
That's like that wee fella you knew that was going to go.
I call myself. I'm thinking of calling myself Humphrey. I think when I fully transition, I'm going to call myself Humphrey. Humphrey. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, have we think about
oh no, love. Will I tell you some?
Humphrey.
Humphrey. They'll be talking about you.
No.
Don't.
And not for
Don't
the
be doing
right
that.
reasons.
Don't be doing that. They'll be
They'll be
talking about
talking
you.
about you.
It's not like a really good, like, that's a warning, isn't it?
That is, they'll be talking about you.
Oh,
and then
don't be
our
doing
one
that,
is,
they'll be
well, sure, if they're talking about me, they're leaving somebody else alone.
I always think, what's the worst thing I'm being talked about is not been talked about?
Oscar Wilde.
Yeah. I always think that about myself.
Yeah.
They're talking
Who
about
was it
me.
that said about drink? I feel sorry for people who don't drink alcohol because when they wake up in the morning, that's the best they're going to feel all day.
It's almost like, I may be drunk, madam, but you're
I think it
ugly.
actually was
Whenever I wake
Churchill
up,
who said it, yeah.
whenever I wake up in the morning, I'll be sober, but you'll still be ugly.
You'll still be ugly. Yeah.
You ugly.
So
you
humming.
humming bastard. But like, we do have like a lot of words for like
Stinking.
stinking,
Right, Megan.
minging, stinking, hyphen,
Javing.
jive, lapping,
Rife.
right, rank,
Boggin.
boggin,
Rank. Yeah.
um,
Meng Dangalai.
meng dingaling.
Offensive.
You are offensive.
Haven.
Haven. You give me the heave.
There's more life on you than there is in you.
More life on you, there is in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If
Stinker.
if listeners or watchers, like, is there in the region or part of either Belfast, Northern Ireland, North of Ireland that you come from, is there like a thing that you would say that we wouldn't
Or from
say?
abroad. What about
Yeah.
you, Frank? I haven't heard. We've heard from you recently, but how you keeping? What about America? Is
America.
there any?
What way would Americans? Gross. Oh my god, that's
Gross.
grody. That's
Yeah.
gross. That's
There was this girl, and she was saying she's married to a guy from here, and she said words that I refuse to believe are real words,
right.
and one of them was bogging.
Oh, why bogging?
But I just thought that made sense because, like, the bog, you came home from the bog with your hands dirty because you were digging the turf.
You're bogging.
You're bogging.
You're
Like,
bogging.
that joke, what do you call a German coal man? Hands bogging. Right? People don't get that from across the water.
Hans bogging. He
I
was.
fell out of my pram laughing
It's
at
like
that.
doing the what I call it, the owl. It's now what's it, Jimmy Young. Hair as bogging.
That's bogging.
So they took Matilda Royal in the washman with carbolic.
Carbolic
With
soap.
carbolic soap, and now
Yeah.
smell lovely.
But like the smell of Jay's, like, see, olfactory is the best way to trigger memory, supposedly. It's one
So
of the
I
ultimate
hear.
triggers of memory.
Yes.
That's why they say if you're studying, like, put some lemon oil on a rag, sniff it, and then when if you're in having the exam, if you smell
Bring
that,
it with you.
bring it with you.
Don't put shite.
Don't put shade, no.
Do you know what I mean?
Unless you sit next to a shitty wee girl.
A wee shitty,
then
someone's
you'd
just
be as
hyphen.
well studying in the toilet to prepare. But whenever I smell Jay's fluid,
right.
I am instantly transported to being about 4 years of age, living in Lenadoon, walking up the back alleys. Because although most people didn't have anything,
Kept
they were
it clean.
dead clean.
Oh,
do you
why?
know?
Jess
And
fluid.
every night it would be
Dettol,
the wee grannies in the street would come out and wash the front and the back
the back
down with
steps.
Jay's fluid.
Yeah.
Whether
why?
it needed it or not.
She took a
every
bath
night.
3 times a year, whether she needed it or
Whether
not.
she needed it or not. Jay's fluid.
Jess fluid.
There
Oh,
you go.
why? Jess fluid. Or
Do you have anything like that?
I'm trying to think. Smells. Like whenever I smell,
My ma used to have this makeup and it had this smell to it. It was lovely. It was like soap.
there's like a makeup makes me like the makeup. Yes, mommy getting ready to go out.
Yeah. You
Smell-
called it
The dusty smell of. You like the smell of
I love
like,
it. Powder
like
puff.
powders.
cream puff.
Uh-huh.
We have a friend. Nula. We used to call her
Oh,
cream puff. It really pissed her off.
Why?
Because I don't know, she always used a cream puff in uni. And we were like, you still using them?
Oh, right. She,
You know, cream puff.
She was,
You know, the
she was
wee
trying to hide the.
cream puff. We used to go, all right, wee cream
She was
puff.
trying to hide the lesbianism.
And she would take a
She was
she was trying to hide the lesbian.
She was trying to be dead femme.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was trying to, like, no, I'm not a lesbian. Look, I use cream puff. But would you see a lesbian with a cream puff? No.
You see a lesbian with cream puff?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Depends what
dear.
time of the year it is.
You
Sometimes we
never
go
do know.
cream. We Irish.
Have you got a dirty word for our Patreon, Sean?
Not yet, but we can in a wee minute.
Mm-hmm. We are going to go over to our Patreon if you fancy joining us. Must apologise for the time that we didn't do the Patreon. It didn't go up.
We're awful sorry.
They're awful sorry. So
We'll tell you.
Mm-hmm. But if you
But we're having an awful day of it.
I know we were, but we're having
We
a mad
actually
day.
did. It was a funny day.
It was
It was
because
right.
I was going away to electric picnic the next day as well, and everything was really hectic.
Picnic électronique.
Picnic electronique. Mhm,
I
yeah.
don't know.
All day long. But yes, we will, and we're going to start getting on and uploading wee bits of content on the Patreon as well.
Content, yeah.
Sometimes if you have
You'll
wee
be
clips-
content with our content.
Oh yes. So if I don't look at your wee self-satisfied face, if I don't see it through week,
I'll see you through windy.
ew.
Don't see you around.
Thank you to anybody who has subscribed. I'll see you a square.
I'll see you square.
If anybody's subscribed or yet to subscribe, thank you very much.
Look for £1 a week.
Ugh, I know.
£1 a month.
£1 a month.
£1 a month. What
That's
are you going to
25p
do?
a week.
That's 25p a week.
Not
You
even.
couldn't-
Some months have 5 weeks.
I wouldn't get you a Fredo.
I wouldn't get you.
I wouldn't get you 4 Fredos in a month.
Mm-hmm.
So you may as well.
So if you're feeling up to it,
Mom,
thank you.
that's every week.
Mm-hmm.